Welcome to Healthy Cooking Made Easy with Total Life Prosperity. I am Sonjita. You know if you see me that Dwayne is not too far away, right? So we are excited today to bring you chili. That's right. That's it, y'all. Chili. You want some quick recipes, simple preparation that you are going to be allowed to let cook, and when you come home, it's going to be ready to serve. If you're busy, running around, errands, work, kids, family, whatever the case might be, you need to remember that it's always healthier for you to prepare your meals at home. When you prepare your meals at home, you control what goes into it. You control what you're eating, where it comes from, and you also are better able to control your portion sizes. And chili is a really good example. I don't know about you, but I love soups. This is my homemade chili recipe. Feel free to go ahead and modify the recipe, account for allergies, special taste, health conditions, whatever you need to do, right? So that you are able to move forward and give the best recipe to your household that you have available. Let's talk about how I make my chili. This is Sonjita's homemade chili recipe. And of course, because I'm Sonjita, I think it's award winning, right?
I do too.
So let's talk about what's in the chili, because before you get ready to throw everything together, you want to make sure that you have all the ingredients that you desire. I'm going to give you everything that I use right now. Just going to go down the list to make sure that you know what we're working with. First, of course, you're going to start with your meat. I always pre-cook my meat before mixing it in. But please note, today we're actually going to be using the crock pot. I don't know if you all remember the crock pot. I still love my crock pot, pressure cookers, anything that you can set and forget. That is the name of the game. That's the goal for today, all right? Set it and forget it. So we're going to use our crock pot to make sure that our chili is going to be on a slow cook all day and that we don't burn the house down. Good to know. Please do not leave a pot cooking on the stove. Please do not plug anything in or leave anything at home cooking that could cause a fire hazard. All right. So meat, ground turkey. This is 93.7 ground turkey. I season my meat when I cook it. I saute it lightly. I try not to add extra oils and all those things because, of course, there's going to be some fat and oil drain off of the meat. Okay. Next thing, I use a minimum of 4 different types of beans in my chili. So let's talk about it. Dark red kidney beans, boom, right here, okay? Light red kidney beans, see that color variation? I also use black beans, right? Now, some recipes add corn. I don't, but I do use black beans. And finally, I use pinto beans. So you will notice that these are portioned at approximately a half a cup. If you're using a can of beans, half the can of beans is going to be a little bit over a half a cup, right? So if you're specific to portion sizes, you want to measure it out. If you're just kind of trying to eyeball it, as they call it, then you're going to want to dump half the can after you drain any liquid off of the beans. All right. Of course, tomatoes. So I use tomatoes. Some people don't like tomatoes, either fresh or canned. Everything in the recipe is optional. Modify it to your taste. I use tomatoes, though, because I want to make sure that I'm adding in as many extra veggies as I can. And this is another good way for me to add a veggie and also build on that tomato-based flavor that we have in our chili. So tomatoes, absolutely. Celery. And this is celery right here, right? Fresh celery, just rough chopped, as they call it. Not minced, not grated, just a nice rough, easy chop, because we're going to throw it in the chili bowl, right? Here we have bell pepper. Now this is yellow and red. You can use whatever kind of bell pepper you want, but please note, all of the bell peppers do not produce the same flavor profile. So if you buy a green bell pepper, it definitely has a different profile than if you use red or yellow. These are a little bit sweeter, so they give me that hint of sugar without actually adding sugar to the recipe. I know some people add sugar to their chili recipe. We're trying to stay healthy, so no sugar, all right? And onions. Onions naturally have sugar occurring, so they're going to meld with those bell peppers and give us a really nice flavor on our chili. All right. So on to the other side, I also add, rather than add tomato paste or tomato sauce, I go ahead and just add a spaghetti sauce. Now, this usually has some sugar. So if you have health concerns, make sure that you're going to grab that low sodium or low sugar or no sugar added, no salt added, those kind of things, and modify the recipe according to whatever your health concerns or current dietary restrictions might be. But I go ahead and grab a jar of spaghetti sauce. I'm going to add that and build on that tomato base in my chili flavor. And then, of course, you're always going to season to taste. Here are some of the seasonings that I use. So, Italian seasoning. Yes, you've got that oregano, thyme, basil. Some of them have sage and different things in them. Helps us build the profile. It's always going to be better fresh. But if you're in a hurry, or if you need to do things that you have stocked in your cabinet, grab that spice cabinet door, open it up, and find out what flavors you're really trying to bring to the table. So cumin, right? Ground cumin. Always add that to my chili. Of course, onion powder wants to jump off the counter there. That's all right. Chili powder. Here we go. And I use a lot of fresh garlic and minced garlic out of the produce refrigerated section. But today, for the ease of use, we're just going to go ahead and throw that garlic powder in there. Now, there are some ways that you can cut back on the number of spices. If you don't have these in your cabinet, or you don't normally use these for other items, then I wouldn't say go buy them, because I don't want them to sit there in your cabinet forever. What I would tell you to do is, another quick tip is, almost every manufacturer has some kind of chili packet seasoning available, and they come in different types of heat: hot, mild, medium, whatever the case might be. They come with different, Tex-Mex, Mexican, different flares and fusions to them. Find one that you like, adjust it to your palate, and keep it moving. All right. So are you ready to put this chili together? Now, please note, for most of the ingredients, I generally use 2 teaspoons to about a tablespoon of the seasonings and spices that you see. But be very careful. It's always easier as you go to add more than it is for you to try to fix a recipe if you add too much. Notice you don't see black pepper. I do add pepper, but if you're at all sensitive to heat, don't add any pepper in there, and be very careful, because the more you put in there and the more it cooks, the hotter it kind of releases that heat and that bite right in your dish. And I don't add salt. Sodium content is already present in all of the spices and things that we're using today, especially in that spaghetti sauce. So I don't add salt. And if you get one of these packet seasonings and you're going to use that today, be careful. This one has 30% less sodium, but there are many ones that have even less than that. And you want to be really careful about the overall sodium content for blood pressure and many other kinds of health conditions, right? So just note that, all right? So how do we put all of this together and come out with an award-winning chili? Let's do it. Are you ready? So we build it just like you see it. We're going to literally take our ingredients, put them in our crock pot, give them a good stir, plug it in, and go to work. So let's start with our turkey. This is 1 package or 1 pound of ground turkey. It is seasoned with Italian seasoning, minced garlic, onion powder. It has a few things that you see present. Of course, we've added chili powder. Of course, we've added the cumin. All of that is already in our meat. Because it's ground turkey, right? We want to make sure that that turkey has flavor and that it's going to add to the dish, not take away. So I'm going to add now. I pre-cooked my ground turkey today so we could save some time while we're together. So I'm just going to add it in. I'm going to mash it up to make sure that it will mix in with my beans. I'm going to give that a good stir. Okay? Good stir. Good mash. Good stir. All right. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and layer our beans in here. Are you ready? Dark red kidney beans. There they go. Light red kidney beans. There they go. We're going to stir it around, start mixing those in. One of the things that I try to make sure is that the chili has a balanced flavor. That means that you need to make sure that you're blending as you're adding. Black beans go in next. And you might need to give them a little bit of help and scoop them out of there. They have a slightly different consistency than some of the other beans. So we're going to blend that around. And you know, I love the colors. I love how you can see the different beans and different veggies. Pinto beans go in next. There they go. We're going to make sure we get those in there. Now, if you're in a rush or you have a large family or you need more than 4 servings, when you use a can of beans, go ahead, open that can and just dump the whole can in there, right? Buy a larger pack of meat. Again, modify the recipe, adjust to whatever you need. Celery goes in next. Don't you just love that nice green color? Now, if you have a little more time, I would recommend that you saute your celery, onions, and bell pepper and start to release those natural flavors and blend them together before you put them in your chili. But times like right now, just go ahead, and you can even use frozen. They have what they call mirepoix mix. That one has carrots in it, but it's okay because veggies never hurt anybody and you won't taste the carrot in here. But bell pepper, onion, celery, and then some of them have carrots chopped up in there. You can just open that frozen bag, dump it in here. It will do the same thing, all right? Bell pepper. Rainbow colored bell peppers, right? We need to eat the rainbow. So here we are. Oh, that looks amazing. Can I show them how amazing this looks?
I'm showing it to them right now.
Oh my goodness, the colors. I love it. I love it. And finally, you choose onions. So I'm going to throw my onions in here. Now remember, it looks like a lot of onions from where you are, but onions cook down a lot. They almost melt away after they get a good caramelization on them. So, oh my goodness, that looks amazing. It already looks good enough to eat. So I'm going to give that a good stir. So now I'm going to start adding in my sauces. I'm going to crack that jar. And I'm just going to pour it around in there. Now, if you're really trying to get a creamier chili or you want a little more liquid base in your chili, what you're going to do is you're going to take that jar and just go ahead and rinse it out. And then go ahead and add that extra into the chili. But I'm going to mix in, make sure that I blend that tomato base well. And again, if you want a little more liquid in your chili, you're going to always add probably about 2 cups of water to that to leave it cooking and make sure that nothing's going to stick when you come back home. Let's go ahead and grab these spices, right? Today I'm going to cheat because this is the quick, easy way. I'm going to go ahead and just add the packet in here. So I'm going to open my packet. Now, be very careful about how you layer the seasoning, even though it's coming out of the packet. You want to take your time and go ahead and blend it in layers because you want that seasoning to cook throughout the entire dish. Does that make sense? So I'm going to add a little, stir a little, add a little, stir a little, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Now, if you're wondering what's in the packet has onion soup mix, cumin, chili powder, and you certainly can read the back of the packet, some other herbs and spices. So no matter how we get there, we're going to arrive at the same place. It's just going to take us a little longer to do it the other way. So 1 packet for every 1 pound of meat. If you like a bolder flavor, kind of a kick you in the mouth flavor, then you're going to go ahead and add 2 packets, but be very careful because packets add salt. All right, so we're going to scoop this out, and then you're going to let it cook, right? So we're going to take this out, we're going to set it and forget it. I'm going to add my crock pot top. I'm going to let that simmer on low if you're leaving home for a long period of time. So if you're leaving home for 6 hours, 8 hours, you're going to put that on low and let it go. If you plan on coming home before that, go ahead and turn it on high, cook it for about 2 hours, and then you should be all set, right? But when in doubt, low. Low and slow always is the way to go, especially if you're using your crock pot. So I'm going to throw that top on there, set this down, okay? And now, After we've done all that and let it cook, what do we end up with? Guess what? We end up with a wonderful looking bowl of chili. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Rich. Do you see that rich tomato sauce, that base? Look, can you see the different colors of my beans even after they are cooked? Can you tell the difference in that color variation? I love it. I've chopped the meat up. Everything is blended. See my veggies. Look at that. Bell pepper, celery. Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to taste it because it looks so good. It smells so good. It's making me hungry. Mmm. 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 Woo! That's good enough for me to stop the show. Excuse me, y'all. Now I want to eat the whole bowl. And I know you don't have time to watch me. So let me give you a little bit of information so you know where to find us and how to reach out while I finish my chili. Facebook, www.facebook.com/Total Life Prosperity. Check us out on YouTube. Total Life Prosperity is on YouTube. All of our videos, in addition to the cooking videos that you've missed, go ahead, find them on YouTube. Reach out to us on Instagram or email us at totallifetoday@gmail.com. All of the information is going to be on your screen. Feel free to like, comment, follow, subscribe, share, and all those things that you need to do with social media. Let me know how your chili goes. Tell me what your family thinks about my chili recipe, how you modify it, and what really works for you. All right? Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is Sonyita with Dwayne signing off. Total Life Prosperity. Bye.